The yellow metal has a significant impact in terms of economic value, employment and contribution to foreign exchange earnings of the nation. Malabar Gold hosted the Golden Truth, an initiative by the Times of India, where experts discussed the impact of gold on the Indian economy. Let's have a look at the discussion.
Well, hi there, warm welcome. You're watching a brand new episode of Malabar Gold, the Golden Truth. Now, the reason, as we have been discussing, is because gold, after all, is not just an investment. It's cultural, as we were just discussing. It is not just from the perspective of jewelry, but also how it contributes to the Indian economy, to the GDP, to be more specific, obviously to the exports as well. But let's also not forget that the entire jewel and gems industry employs around 8 million people, which is why it's very important for us to have this discussion and an understanding of what really is the impact of gold in the Indian economy, which is why, and perhaps the gems of the Indian economy are here on our show, and great to have all you gentlemen here. Joining us today, Shivanshu Mehta, the head bullion at MCX, as well as the director of India International Bullion Exchange, IFSC Limited. We are also joined by Siddarth Bhamre. He is the EVP of Research Head, Religare Broking Limited. We have Sachi Ray, the Executive Director of GJETC. We also have Mr. O. Usher. He is the MD of Indian Operations, Malabar Gold and Diamonds. Can we have a round of applause for all the gentlemen? It has to be a gold standard of applause. We can surely do better than that. Yes, that's much better now. Shivanshu, I'm going to start with you first, because it's important for us to understand how is the sector, or how organized is the sector currently of bullion and jewelry, and what needs to be done to make sure that it is better organized moving forward.
I think government policy in that regard certainly has been on target with the advent of GST a few years back, and also you see a lot of jewelers in the wake of tremendous price volatility. They are actually using organized methods of managing the price risk, as we see on the exchange. The SEBI mandates that as part of the listing obligations and disclosure rights, responsibilities, jewelers have to disclose how they go about managing their price risk in the annual reports. So leading jewelers, we find, are actually growing in business. So why is that? Why is it that organized jewelers are actually capturing more business today? It is because the entire value chain is now becoming organized. The customer also is looking at gold as an asset class. So when you say organized, of course, there are many more avenues other than just jewelry to look at, which are forms of investment. So today, we find that futures, options, even the spot gold contract, which is due to be launched shortly, these are all mechanisms for individual investors to actually invest in gold in a methodical way, to accumulate it, to have an exchange backing of quality assurance, etc., and to go about it in a very organized way. We see this rising of late. It has been rising, yes.
Now, Mr. Usher, I must come to you, because there has been a massive push for Make in India gold. We, of course, have a facility now in Telangana which is going to producing gold. By what fraction do we expect that this facility is going to help reduce the dependency of gold imports of India? And that has been one of the biggest problems.
In line with the Honorable Prime Minister's announcement on the Make in India movement, Malabar also have focused on the manufacturing. We have started investing in various states, not only in Telangana, even in other states. In line with Prime Minister's vision, we have created a slogan called Make in India, Market to the World, because the tradition of Indian culture and the art is reflected in the jewelry, the handmade jewelry, or the karigars, what we make, the products we make in India. If it is exported, and if it is sold in the other countries, Western countries or other international countries, we'll be able to take that culture and reflect what is India, or take the brand India to the other countries. And if you're talking about the Telangana project, it is not only a jewelry manufacturing. We will have a consolidated unit where jewelry manufacturing is there, and also a refinery unit, where a lot of old gold comes in the system, or doré bar and all these things. So old gold, when it comes, if it is properly refined and responsible processes are in place, and like gold monetization scheme, what early discussion was mentioning, through that, when a lot of scrap comes to the system, we need to have a proper refining system where, again, that bullion is being used or for investment or for other manufacturing as a raw material. So this kind of this refinery, of course, if the gold monetization scheme or the old gold systems are in line, it will help a lot to reduce the import. And to manage the current account deficit, it is not only reduction of import, you can increase exports also. And the recent CEPA arrangement done between Indian government and Dubai UAE government, we can export a lot of products. We can have best produced products from India going to the other countries where our exports are increased, so our foreign currency or the current account deficit issue is sorted out. So this kind of investment we are doing based on the government announcement or in line with the government proposal to strengthen the industry, because we are already in this industry. We want this. It's not only, our duty is not limited to do things by ourselves, but do more things that helps the industry to become a more respected industry, because it itself is contributing 7% of the GDP. So these are the things which will add, and it will create a lot of jobs also, skilled manpower jobs also will be done. So we are will be having a capacity of around 120, 100 plus tons in this unit, which can refine that much of volume. So of course it will help the exports as well as the process, the old gold coming in the system or the doré bar coming to the system in a structured way.
You talked about the manpower. How are you ensuring a facility as big as the one that you set up in Telangana? How do you ensure that you have enough skilled labor? How do you upskill the labor industry for that?
Of course, training is very important, because there are a lot of people, like you mentioned, 8 million people are there as karigars. But by giving better working atmosphere, we are developing a lot of, we are working on a lot of processes and systems where the working atmosphere is much better than earlier, because we don't want a goldsmith sitting on the floor and doing that kind of job, and their children won't want to come to that system. Then we will lose that, the art and culture of the country slowly. So we are providing them better working atmosphere, more and more people are attracted to it. Plus we give them workshops and training to develop the people's skill. So it will add a lot of job opportunities. So job opportunities there, and we provide them support in the skill development. So more structured manufacturing system is there. At the same time, there are more skill developed people in the country.
And it's interesting because Mr. Asha just spoke about the policies of the government, and which is why, Mr. Ray, I must take it across to you. As we were just discussing, that is a big concern, India's gold imports. What kind of policy steps, market steps need to be taken right now, immediately, to ensure that we try to at least reduce the domestic consumption of gold?
You have to all understand, just you started this discussion talking that what is the contribution of gold to the economy? What is this industry contributing to the economy? Just in 2019, we had done a research, the Gem and Jewellery Export Promotion Council, through National Council of Applied Economic Research, where they have found out that 1 rupee which is coming as output from the industry, 4 rupees is going as investment. So the multiplier they have told is 4 in terms of investment to output, and also in terms of employment it is 3. That means if 1 person is employed in the sector, some 3 person is getting employed in the allied sectors because of the strong backward linkages. This industry has a very, very strong backward linkages. Now I'll come to why I am telling this. To understand the policy, you have to understand that where from we are coming from, which space we are coming. See, the government of India being a welfare state, they require to employ the people. So this kind of employee-intensive industry, when we talk about leather, when we talk about textiles, we are more employee-intensive as per the study than the leather sector, or to an extent the apparel sector itself, not the textile sector. So we do not have a ministry. So rest of the two sectors are already having guided by the ministry, etc. So in that space, when we are talked, and then right now we have heard that black gold, etc., all these issues we have heard. But yes, what we have to also understand, the entire banking system was controlled in the country through the last maybe 100 years or 200 years by the jewelers. So this we have to understand. So when you are talking about organized or unorganized, so if today the banking system is controlled by the jewelers, we are trying to formalize it, etc., it has to be formalized based on the structure what you are having. You cannot have a structure beyond the structure, and then you try to imbibe in the structure, then there will be resistance in the sector, and that resistance, because the public facing part are the jewelers itself. So if you today, I was studying, we are having more than 19,000 pin codes in our country. So in each pin code you will find a jeweler. I do not know whether you will find a banker in each of these pin codes or not. When you do not have a banker, who are the bankers that we are relying upon? That's the jeweler you are relying upon. So that way, whether it is organized or unorganized, the people of the country will decide whether it is organized or unorganized. Now in the policy space, if you look at the government, just now, Nirupama was also there. All of us know that there was a document which is created by Niti Aayog, that how to cash on into this sector and how to see that it will contribute more to the economy. I was just, before coming to this conference, I was just looking at what has been, given there, or what is recommended there. I was seeing that most of the recommendation has already been done by the government. One area, I think, where the policy continuously we are talking, one of the areas where that has been recommended, that there should be a policy of taxing this sector. It's very important that this taxing, whether it's import duty or GST or anything, there should be a proper policy framework under this, where this taxing should be happening. If today we are having a policy how to come out with a railway fare also for the public, so why not in this entire gold sector, how the import duty will be and how the taxation will be happening in the sector, because it has a direct relationship with the economy, because I have told that the informal banking happens to this industry. If that happens, so to control that thing, you have to have a proper, taxation policy. So if you do not have a taxation policy, then we'll have this thing. So if you are asking me exact policy intervention, what is left out with the government is that, and another part what you are, I think what you will, of course, in the part of the discussion will come, that how to bring back the gold which is already invested, the dead gold, to bring back into the economy. That is another policy perspective what the government is grappling upon. They are not finding the exact solution. Yes, that is, these are the two areas in the taxation and how to bring back the gold which is there, dead gold in the country, back into the system. These are two policy perspective what we have to do.
As we were all discussing, everyone's got gold lying around, not at homes, inside lockers most of the time. But we do have this gold lying around. How do we ensure that we mobilize the gold investments which are lying idle at home?
In his opening remark, Mr. Ahmed mentioned that the gold economy is actually much bigger than the formal economy. Rather than thinking that how we'll bring gold into the formalized part, I think we should think how we can enter there, because that's the bigger space. We all are talking about financialization of gold without much understanding or without much thought process that what exactly gold means to different people. So I just want to lay a foundation over here. So for us, we are talking it from purely finance perspective. But different people, the symbol of gold is different. So, when it's on women, it's beauty. When it's on God, it's purity. And when it's on man, then it's a sense of accomplishment. And when it's with central bankers, it's a sense of power.
Very well said.
Yeah. So we need to understand that aspect of gold. We cannot have one instrument or one strategy fit it all. We talk about making charges, we talk about a lot of things, why gold holding gold in a physical form is not a good advice as investment. But it's not just investment. Look at this way. We all like to have good cars. Some of us are sold to the idea that instead of having a car, you can, use Ola, Uber. Now, let me give you this option that I give you a car which can appreciate in its value, and if you want to change that car, then there might be just 10% charges to it. Case in point, look at what is happening to Rolex watches of gold. The prices of Rolex watches is going up. So saying that gold is not doing much of work in a financial sense, right? But if you look at from utility perspective, I think there is a lot to it, and I have slight disagreement over here that we need to bring gold into our economy. I think our financial instrument should be tailor-made in such a way that we enter into that economy. And it cannot be one, as I mentioned, at the risk of repeating myself, if you just say that, Nirupama ma'am mentioned about how gold bonds or how ETFs can enter or can attract a lot of investments. True, but for whom? So a gold bond is a very good scheme for someone who's saving for his child's marriage. Today, how it operates is that, I'm a mediocre guy, so I'll just go and I'll buy, some gold coins, keep it in a locker, and after, say, 8-10 years, I'll just sell it and I'll make a jewelry out of it. For that guy, the gold bond is perfect, because it is giving you 2.5% interest above the prices of gold. The capital returns are tax-free. The interest is not tax-free, but capital returns are tax-free. But if you promote same stuff to a woman who likes wearing jewelry, you're going to fall on your face. So you need to understand your consumer. You need to understand what people want. And there was, talk of trust, bring it in formal economy. Sir mentioned, Mr. Guruswamy mentioned about, people don't trust government. Forget about government, sir. Daughter-in-law and mother-in-law don't trust each other in terms of, who has how much jewelry. So it is very difficult to bring that economy into our side, financial side. We should try to think to do things differently and foray there. So that would be my answer to your question.
Now, in that case, Mr. Asha, I'm going to come to you because Kerala, and this is very interesting to see, that Kerala has become the first state to launch uniform gold prices which are based on bank rate. Now, a customer there can go and feel that they have bought gold which is at a reasonable price and in a transparent manner. Is this a good template for the other states to follow as well?
Before I talk about the Kerala gold rates being uniform, Malabar group have initiated a drive called One India, One Gold Rate. Presently we have presence in India around 162 stores in India, in different states. So when the gold price worldwide, the LME price, it is the same price everywhere, the LME, the international market. Then the import duty is same. In the country imported is 15%. Be it in Kerala or you import in wherever, the duty is same. And unlike VAT was in different tariff in various states, but after GST came, it is the same, the 3% applied to the industry. When you have all these things uniform for the country, why should we have different gold rates in different states? So we thought about it and we started a drive called One India, One Gold Rate. So anybody, the person sitting in Delhi or person sitting in Kerala or buying online, everybody will get one gold rate pan-India. That initiative was started by Malabar. Then later on also, of course, the Kerala State associations and all, we have had a discussion. They also feel that everywhere it should be like that. So we feel that the whole country should have that one gold rate across the country. That gives more confidence to the public. So this is something like, gold price. I don't have to worry about gold price. It is not only the price. various aspects of the jewelry or gold jewelry have to be monitored and by the government or authorities in association with industry, because this is not only just adornment or just a beauty thing that you are purchasing. It is an investment. It is for a person who is working. It is like the passbook for her. You know, she has a gold chain lying in around the neck. It is like a passbook she is holding. It is a security for her. You can say it is the only wearable investment. You can now to wear a share certificate or property document. It is like a wearable investment. So we have to be very careful. A lot of emotions, sentiments are attached to it. So pricing, while deciding the pricing also, we have to bring that trust. So one gold rate across India is what we are suggesting or what we have implemented, but at least Kerala have that one, but across India we are following one gold rate.
Right. So hopefully we are going to be looking forward towards a glittering future for this industry. Thank you so much, gentlemen. As we were just discussing, Mr. M has also pointed out that gold is more than just an investment, but also, as Siddarth has said, that it is a thing of beauty, a thing of piety. It is also a thing of power. So here's to a more glittering future, which meets everyone's gold standards. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us, and you gentlemen, for your perspective.